Hello everyone, hope you're having a good weekend so far. I just wanted to go over week 4 and give you an introduction to week 5 and let you know what's coming for next week of class. I know everyone is now done obviously with their adult education paper, and those were graded finally last night, released to everyone. Overall did a great job. Just some minor things, especially mechanics and grammar that we pointed out. But overall, everybody did a really good job using Knowles assumptions and applying those to really some interesting teaching scenarios that you all had to deal with. So good job. So SOAP note charting should be turned in on Sunday, and we'll get to grading those as soon as we can, with, of course, them being done no later than a week. So something to look forward to this upcoming week, week 5, if you can believe it. We're into week 5 of the fall semester. That's exciting. And this week we'll be focusing on breast and the lymph and respiratory system. There's an overview you can look at. The biggest thing this week is the adult health history paper that will be due. There's lots of good information for you if you look in the summary for the week. There's frequently asked questions regarding the history assignment, so look that through. It might answer a lot of your questions that you may have. There's also a really good example of a completed health history. It's kind of a lot of information, and honestly, truly, in practice, it wouldn't be that long, but just kind of like those care plans that we did in nursing school, it's a good way to gather your thoughts and stay organized and focused and be able to complete what needs to be done so that you don't miss anything. So, but great example that you can look at here. There's some readings both in Varney and in Jarvis. There's some additional resources that you can look at from the American Cancer Society. I went to the Easy Auscultation website today. It was very interesting. You do have to sign up. It's very brief. Just takes a minute or two. And the thing I thought about was that when I was in nursing school, and this may date me just a wee bit, but we had to go to the computer lab and put headphones on and sit there and listen to lung sounds. So this is so handy that you can just do this whenever you want to in the comfort of your own home. And I listened to them too. It was really interesting and quite good. So look at those. There's also some other little videos. There's a like a lecture on the respiratory system, parts 1 and 2, and then a very basic introduction, just really breaks it down to basics. This Khan Academy, if you wanted to watch that. There's also a quiz, quiz 2, and that's on chapters 14 through 19 in Jarvis, and you get 1 hour to take that. Under the adult health history, there's you can read through here. Some tips that Julie wanted to remind everyone of is that your patient cannot be adopted. These things are also written in here, but just as a reminder. What else did she say? They have to have 3 diagnoses. 1 can be a mental health issue. If you want to include that too, that would be all right. Be sure that the patient has both chronic and acute problems. Don't forget to assess for integrative or alternative therapies, because some people are using those like massage or aromatherapy, etc. And the big one, don't use a nursing diagnosis. We get to move away from those and move into real medical diagnoses. So try and really do that, because you will lose points if you use a nursing diagnosis. And don't use diagnoses that say at risk for. I don't believe that we can bill for things that say at risk for. It has to be an actual diagnosis. So instead you could say manifesting mild signs or symptoms of depression, currently stable. So that would be an alternative to what you want to say when you want to use the phrase at risk for. And if that was the case, if the patient was showing signs or symptoms of depression but currently stable, then you could go in to discuss like what would that follow-up look like, what monitoring would need to be done for that patient as well. And some of your diagnoses can also be a positive thing. It could be a 40-year-old female who has hypothyroidism that's stable, so it doesn't always have to be an ongoing problem at the time. So this goes over your the paper requirements, how it's graded, etc. And I look forward to reading those more too. So I wanted to just give you a quick devotion that I read online here. I can find it. And I picked this online because I can feel this week as well. For the days that you feel overwhelmed. So I'm on call all weekend. I started back at my DNP program this week at the U of M. School started. Kids are back at school. I'm teaching for the first time, so yes, I fit in this category as well. So I really understand what you're going through. So I thought this would be helpful for all of us today. Disregard all the goofy side, oh gosh, side ads. I apologize for that. So, for the days you feel overwhelmed, there's a rock that is higher. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I, from Psalm 61:2. For the times when you feel overwhelmed, there's a rock that is higher, stable, sure, faithful, true, a place that you can trust, a place that you can rest. We often long for a more simplified life, free of mess or clutter and struggles, yet most days we strive just to keep our heads above the demands of work, family, responsibilities, and all that calls our name. It's hard sometimes feeling like we can never get it all done. Our minds are in constant mode of go from the moment our feet hit the floor in the morning. That is life, real life. And God longs to be right there in the center of all of it, in the mess, in the full days, in the craziness, and times when we feel overwhelmed, because the truth is the reality that we can never get everything done we feel like we need to do is not even reality for most of us. And that's not where true success is found anyway. It's found in spending time with Him. Our rock, our stability, our hope, our peace. Maybe today is the day to rise above. Maybe we've been stuck down too long. Maybe we've been drowning or fighting the overwhelm. All the struggles and the stuff won't ever go away, but they don't have to defeat us. He is the one who brings hope to the chaos, the clutter, and demands. Because most days don't look like a Pinterest post or page fresh out of a magazine for simple living. Very true. Sometimes they're messy and full, and we can hardly keep up. The to-do list doesn't get done again, and we might be feeling a few steps behind. Pressures cling, we feel hurried and stressed, battling defeat and discouragement, wondering why we can't just get it together. Yes, still His truth shines through. For though there's a lot that may be left undone at the end of every day, if we're living close to the one who created the day and cares more about us than we could ever imagine, that's where true life is found. That's where peace is. Resting there today. Hope you are too. I hope that gives you something to reflect on for the week, and to remind yourself when everything is crazy that, okay, calm down, let's get centered again. So I wish you well this week. I hope everyone is doing well. Please feel free to reach out anytime if you have questions or concerns. We're rooting for you and praying for you and hoping you're doing great. Take care and have a great week.